Still lit, still lit, man. Still lit. What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, SteelLIT Nation, SteelLIT haters, and everyone in between? It's your boy Still Lit, man. We back for another episode, y'all. And we gonna sit here and talk that Steelers shit. Yeah, I mean, because you know Steelers is still lit. I don't give a damn about this 1-4 start, y'all. I'm gonna start this goddamn shit out with that. From the rip. From the door, I don't care about this 1-4 record, yo. Like, every Steeler fan should already knew what kind of season this was about to be. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Do I want to see us get blown out? Nah. All I want to see is our team be competitive. Even though we got blown out 38-3, was our team still fighting, y'all? Facts they was. They was still balling, yeah. It was just always something that was holding up our offensive daggone performance. And it wasn't Kenny Pickett. It wasn't Kenny. So the bright spot we can take out of this game is we at least eliminated one goddamn reason why this team wasn't operating right, and that was Mitchell Trubisky. And by removing him, we at least have a competent quarterback to be able to have us be competitive and move the ball down the field, have the ball in our possession, give our defense a break. We at least have that going for us now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that got exposed in this game, and it's a lot that got exposed that a lot of us should, quite frankly, be kind of excited about. You know what I mean? We got, for sure, our next franchise quarterback. Barring injury or anything like that, there ain't no reason to believe that Kenny Pickett ain't our next quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was one game, but it was one game against one of the best defenses in the league. Buffalo Bills got one of the best defenses in the league, man. It wasn't Kenny Pickett that wasn't moving the ball down the field. We're going to get into that because that's exactly what this episode is about. This episode is about coaches coach and players play. And this is the problem going on in the Pittsburgh Steelers facility right now, is that the play calling has been, shaky on both sides of the ball. But for one, on defense, that Terrell Austin just trying to figure out how he can dial up some daggone pressure without TJ Watt being there. I'm not even mad at Terrell Austin. Like, all you could do is call the plays. The players got to execute the plays. The players got to be the ones that create the pressure. You can dial up whatever. If we ain't never hitting home, never. Is that on the coach or is that on the players? Like, let's be real. On defense, I honestly believe we need, like we just had an influence of youth and talent put into the offense. We need that into the defense now. You know what I'm saying? These next couple drafts need to be dedicated towards the defense again. Higher caliber players. Everybody know the Pittsburgh Steelers is a team that builds their team through the draft. We don't play with the free agency all like that. And I'm not going to say that we don't, but in the past we've been cap strapped with Ben to try to play the free agency to get high caliber elite players when they're done with their rookie contracts or whatever kind of contract they had with the team and organization that they was previously with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got Miles Jack on a goddamn, that was a team-friendly ass deal. Miles Jack probably could have went somewhere else and got paid. You know what I mean? He's 27 years old. We build our team through the draft. You know what I mean? And as much as we want to praise Kevin Colbert, you know what I'm saying, we have missed on a lot of these drafts, yo, especially in the higher rounds. Without trying to diss Kevin Colbert, we always drafting in the lower rounds. In the lower part of the draft. We had to trade up to get Devin Bush, who was balling, who was looking like a great investment his first year and before he got the injury. But now he's just inconsistent. I'm not even going to diss him and say he's a bad player. He's just inconsistent. And you can't really tell how much passion he really has in the game. And, that's one thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers draft strategy that I don't particularly like, you know what I'm saying, because they have done that with several players like Jarvis Jones, and who else is another player that I feel like they reached for. I ain't even going to put Artie Burns in this discussion because Artie Burns was never thought as to be a top-tier player in the league. They just reached for him. They just, you know what I mean? But as far as like Jarvis Jones, Devin Bush, these are players that they didn't even really technically evaluate during the draft process. They just decided, as far as Devin Bush's situation, they just stay like, look, we need an inside linebacker. They drafted up to get one of the top two guys coming out that year. That's all that was. They didn't really evaluate his personality too much, I don't think. Because if they did, I'm pretty sure Bush wouldn't be a Pittsburgh Steeler. You could tell his personality's a little not all the way. That's as far as I'm going to go. Jarvis Jones, they reached for him. He fell for a reason, man. It's like, dog, you can look at his college tape, and it's like, I don't care what kind of stats he had. That was a terrible coaching decision from Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, people like to put this draft stock on Tomlin, where it's like Tomlin's coaching throughout the year. He ain't watching no college football right now unless it's for entertainment. He ain't scouting nobody. We got a whole scouting department for that. We got a whole department dedicated to be looking for quality players. You know what I mean? And being that we are always typically in the lower portions of the draft process, 20s and down, there's but so many players that are the Troy Palomalus, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can get lucky and get the undrafted in the 7th round, and we're good for doing that. But, Pittsburgh Steelers need to really get higher quality players. Under Kevin Colbert, we didn't trade up a lot. Under this regime with Omar Khan, man, I hope they play things a whole lot different. Yeah, I mean, Andy Whittle, that's one thing that I wanted to bring up is like, not only did Omar Khan get hired as the GM, he changed the whole scouting department. That was the first thing he did, man. The first thing he did outside of signing Minkah Fitzpatrick and Deontay Johnson is he revamped the whole scouting department. First of all, that's not his forte. He's not a scouter. Like, he understands that. He knows where his strength is at, is in the numbers, and that he knows he could probably see, he can notice a good quality player when he see it, but that's not his lane. His lane is the numbers. So he put a whole new influx of scouting into the Pittsburgh Steelers facility. And hopefully his first draft, we need to hit big on this because we clearly don't have the personnel right now. As far as Matt Canada goes, I like Matt Canada's offense. He don't know how to call the plays. He don't know how to call plays. So does he make good play designs? No, not necessarily. They're not that creative. They're not as creative as like the 49ers or the Bills or whatever. Or, you know what I mean? But people are getting open. Is it Matt Canada's scheme, really? Or is it, like I just said, the players play, the coaches coach. Najee ain't reading the running lanes. You know what I'm saying? He ain't hitting the holes hard. You know what I mean? Deontay Johnson ain't consistent. He catching the most acrobatical, craziest shit and dropping the easiest passes. It's not making any sense at all. Chase Claypool plays like he's 5'8". You know what I'm saying? They don't pass the fryer move enough. George Pickens is the number one. He don't need to leave the field at all. George Pickens is the best player on the offense. They need to leave him on the field. The offensive line ain't even the problem right now, man. Like, yeah, they need to get better. Could they get some better quality players on the O-line? Cool, yeah, cool. Could we get better push? Yeah, cool. Is Najee missing these lanes? You're right. And all summer, people have been talking about how much weight Najee gained. His weight again, how thicker his legs was and all this other kind of stuff, but he still had the quickness and shiftiness and all this other kind of stuff. And that might be all cool and dandy. But if you're going to gain all this weight and get all big and do all this other kind of shit, you was already big as hell for real. He was already a big player. So if you're going to go and do all this and get bigger and stronger and all that, run like it, man. Run like it. Because the undrafted running back right now, I don't care what anybody say. Jaylen Warren, I ain't saying he needs to be the starter, but he needs to start getting more reps. They need to start doing a more 1-2 punch with them versus him giving Najee a spell. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're getting yards with Jaylen Warren in the game. Jaylen Warren runs with a man with a purpose. Najee Harris, he's running like he's watching Le'Veon Bell tape or something. But you're not Le'Veon Bell. Not only that, you don't have a Le'Veon Bell offensive line. So all the dancing in the background is it's looking bad, bro. You got to hit the hole. You got to hit the hole hard, and you got to go and get what the defense is giving you. Talking about playing smaller than your size. I call it how I see it, and you know what I mean? That's one thing about doing this show now is like, I used to be able to keep these type of things to myself, but like being that I'm, I'm trying to, make a nice little Steelers channel on top of the fans, and I ain't gonna say what my real goal is here. I have a goal with this channel. And so I have to give criticism to players that I like, you know what I mean, openly to the public. So I don't want to seem like I'm bashing any of these dudes, but you just got to call it like you see it. That's just like the national media. You got to call it like you see it. Mitchell Trubisky wasn't the answer. Kenny Pickett seems like a more QB, at least a quarterback who can manage the game better. At the end of the day, from a whole game and a half, it's clear that Kenny Pickett's a better manager of the game. So, you know what I mean? As far as you want to go, as far as who's the more talented quarterback and, the vet and all that other kind of, like, look, I ain't trying to hear that. Our offense wasn't doing nothing until this man became the quarterback. So, we going to be all right, though. Long story short, where I'm trying to say with this rant, players got to play, coaches got to coach. Is it clear that Matt Canada is not an NFL coordinator? It is clear that he's not an NFL coordinator. But is he putting these guys in a position to succeed and they're not coming through for him? That is most definitely happening as well. Deontay Johnson is not coming through. You know what I'm saying? Chase Claypool is not coming through. Like, pretty soon, Calvin Austin III is about to come back. Pretty soon, I guarantee you, Steven Stem start getting used a little more in this offense. He has a rapport with Kenny in the preseason. You know what I mean? Miles Boykin. Look, man, Chase Claypool, we got Miles Boykin right there. I understand Claypool's homegrown, but we about to start having to do a little shakeup in personnel here because we got to find some answers. And if the players ain't going to be consistent, they need to be replaced. This is the profession. This ain't college. You know what I'm saying? You're not rookies no more. You're not even second-year players anymore. That's acceptable for those type of players. Like, that's what I'm saying with Najee. He's only a second-year player. So he's still trying to technically learn the game. He didn't play in the preseason. He was hurt. He still might be hurt. So I'm still trying to be a little lenient towards my judgment towards Najee. But at the end of the day, Claypool, Deontay, y'all supposed to be the leaders on the team. Y'all the veterans now. Y'all knew that Big Ben was retiring. Y'all should have already had the mentality of coming in here, putting your foot down and letting your voice be heard and being that leader on the team. When is the leadership? When is the personalities going to start showing that you care about the game more than just your contract and more than just about your stats, but about winning? And that's what I loved about TJ. TJ came out here like once he got that contract, it went from all individual accolades to team accolades. TJ Watt's about the team. Cam Hayward's about the team. When are we going to get some offensive players that are about the team? And I think we do, but they just ain't consistent. Chase Claypool, I really like Chase Claypool as a person. Every interview he's in, he bigs up all his teammates, man. Like, he never really sounds too cocky or nothing. He just be trying to answer questions to the best of his ability. But bro gotta just get better. I don't get it. Because he's nothing like he was his rookie year. Chase Claypool's rookie year, he was a beast. And maybe they just need, I don't know, man. It might be Matt Canada. Maybe he's just not being utilized for his strengths. You know what I mean? Because clearly going downfield's not his strength. So, I don't know, y'all. This next draft under Omar Khan, we got to hit big. I don't want us to tank the season. That's the last thing I want the Steelers to do is tank the season. But what they do need to do is highly consider drafting up in this draft. Either drafting up or trading down and continue gathering an influx of solid foundational role player type of dudes. Because that's what you're getting in the mid round to late round. You're getting role players. You're getting, and that's not to say everybody that's drafted in those rounds are that, but the elite players are chosen specifically in the high first round of the draft. 1 through 15. Really 1 through 10. But 1 through 15, that's the high caliber players, man, every year. So, hey, look, Steelers they have to draft better. You know what I mean? This past draft was obviously great. We got Connor Hayward, who I think is a hit in the 5th or 6th round or something like that. Mark Robinson, who they need to start utilizing more. I don't know, they had some good hits, but they had a lot of bad misses too. Like Quincy Roche, that was a miss. Buddy Johnson, that's another miss. We can't keep having these misses. We ain't asking for superstars on every pick, but these 3rd, 4th round players, Kendrick Green. Third, fourth, fifth round players got to start being hits. You know what I mean? Because those are the role players. Those are the foundational players. That's all I got to say today. I got my rambling on. As you can see, my joint is gone. There's some positives that came out of this game, y'all. You know, Pickens is the real deal. He's wide receiver 1 without even having to be classified that. Kenny Pickens is the real deal. Jaylen Warren deserves more reps. Connor Hayward deserves more reps. Our secondary, we need a CB1. We're desperate for a CB1. And that's another thing real quick about as far as this game goes, man. We need to stop acting like we wasn't out there with goddamn... there was no Cam Sutton for most of the game. He left out the goddamn no Terrell Edmonds. Do y'all see the value of Terrell Edmonds now? You know what I'm saying? Like, no Kilo Witherspoon. Like, our top corners weren't playing in this game. Levi Wallace left the game with a concussion. Our secondary was depleted. Yeah, I mean, they were depleted. Of course, a quarterback like Josh Allen is going to expose the Steelers when you're missing those type of players, and they're not even CB1s. But they're as consistent as we're going to get on our team. You know what I mean? James St. Pierre's not going to stop Josh Allen. Like, at least third, fourth quarter for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, Josh Jackson, I didn't even know who he was. I'm like, who the hell was number 16? Yo, I started looking on my phone. Like, who the hell is number... Josh Jackson, I still don't know who that is. So, do you even know the defense? Like, come on, man. Let's be real. So, look, that's all I got, man. We going to be all right, though, y'all. Like, look, this is going to be... Every Steeler fan should have knew this was going to be a season of growing pains. And that's all it is. But one thing we need to be happy about is, like, look, Steelers went from Terry Bradshaw to all these... We didn't have to go through the bull. You know what I mean? People like to diss Cordell. Cordell was my man. Cordell was in the field. Cordell could have led us to the goddamn Super Bowl. He led us to the championship like 2-3 years. You know what I mean? He just couldn't ever close the deal. We didn't have to go through a large drought to find our next quarterback, yo. That's a beautiful feeling, yo. That is, if there's anything to be happy about as a Steeler fan, it's George Pickens and Kenny Pickett. Goddamn. Be happy about that, y'all, because that is a bright, very, 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 very bright spot for our offense. For years, we had Ben and AB, y'all. Ben and AB. Kenny Pickett and George Pickens has the same type of chemistry of Ben Roethlisberger and AB. And they're rookies. They're both rookies. Can't wait to see that maturation, that development to start being displayed. And the way Kenny Pickett is a tweak in the classroom, I'm pretty sure he probably got George like, hey man, let's practice after practice or something, like, yeah, man, or they probably was doing that in the offseason or something. They have chemistry. So anyway, man, that's all I got, y'all. Look, Pittsburgh still lit, y'all. We gonna be all right. We still lit regardless. Litty regardless. All right. Look, if you watched the video, especially if you watched it all the way to the end, thank you. I really appreciate it. But look, like, share, and subscribe. Just hit the like button, y'all, please. I mean, hit the subscribe button if you think you can rock out with me. And, you know, share to all the little Steeler groups or whatever, y'all. But look, I'm out here. I'm not going to stop. You know, I'm trying to stay consistent with it. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to post on the daily or whatever, but I work a lot. You know what I mean? I be out here. You know what I mean? But anyway, love y'all, Steeler Nation. Steeler haters, y'all know what it is, man.